I was going to begin this homily by saying, remember last weekend when Deacon Bill was preaching? The trouble is that was only about 24 hours ago. When the feasts fall like this, it kind of throws me off. But you know, in his homily, Deacon Bill talked about how the movement of Advent had begun with a large vision and worked its way down to a very small one. Worked its way down to the things that you and I can do to think globally, act locally. There's a story that's told of a beach in Florida. And I don't know if any of you have ever walked on a beach, whether it be in Florida or California or wherever it might be. Every now and then you see a large invasion of starfish on the beach. The story goes that this young girl was walking down the beach, and the tide had brought in this large invasion of starfish, and she realized that probably many of them would die because they wouldn't be able to get back into the water. And so as she was walking along, she would bend down and pick one up and throw it back. Bend down, pick one up, throw it back. This older gentleman came by and he said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, all these starfish are stranded on the beach. So if I don't get them back in the water, they're going to die." He said, "Well, you'll never be able to get all these fish back in the water. What difference is it going to make?" And she bent down and she picked one up and she said, "It's going to make a lot of difference to this one." And she threw it back. Today we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, the fulfillment of hope. We've heard from the prophet Isaiah all through Advent, the hope that we long for, this justice coming to the earth, light enlightening the darkness, peace, he shall be peace. And it happens today. What difference will it make? The thing is, we can't always act globally. Somebody has to, but probably most of us can't. But we can act locally. We can make a difference. We can change the world, one person at a time. If we hear the message of this night, the light that is shown in darkness, that has brought peace and hope and redemption to the world, and we in turn walk out of this church and bring it to one other person. Probably this weekend, 1,400 people will come to Mass in this church on this feast of Christmas. If each and every one of them walked out of this church and made a difference to one other person, it's almost 3,000 people whose life will have been affected by this one night. To be able to be a sign of hope is to take this celebration of Christmas into our own hearts and make a difference in the hearts that we touch. As our families and friends gather, as we travel or receive guests into our homes, whatever it might be, to make a difference one person at a time, so that in fact Christ is born, is infleshed, incarnated into the lives of each and every person that we meet. What difference is it going to make? It'll make a big difference to whomever we touch this day. Merry Christmas.